Class 12, myself Sanjeev Kumar Tiwari from DAP Public School CCL Grade. I am teaching mathematics for classes 11 and 12. My dear students, today's topic for discussion is inverse trigonometric functions. So inverse trigonometric functions play vital role in the field of mathematics. Either you are talking about the calculus, that is one of the most important part of class 12 level mathematics. It plays vital role. So let us see how inverse trigonometric functions works. I will start from the zero level. So I suggest everyone to go through the basics. Then we will see the board model questions also. Before starting inverse trigonometric functions, topic is inverse trigonometric functions. Before starting inverse trigonometric function, you must know what is inverse of a function. The first concept is, if a function is given, if A is the domain, B is the codomain. Students, if already you have understood functions and inverse of the function, you must know to make the function invertible, it should be 1, 1 and onto. And you know, when the function is 1, 1 and onto, the function's domain and range, this range converts into the domain of the concerning inverse of the function. So, if this is your function, then f inverse will be given as this range becomes the domain and this domain becomes the range. That means domain and range just they interchange themselves in the concept of inverse. But you will see in the concept of inverse trigonometric function is just little bit different from the regular inverse function of other functions. So what is the difference between them? I will show through one of the inverse trigonometric functions. Let us see. Now, all of you are knowing if f is a function from, if the domain I have taken as the set of real numbers and the range I have taken as the interval, closed interval minus 1 to 1. All of you are knowing what is the meaning of minus 1 to 1. That means x lies between the values minus 1 and 1. So that is the range of this function given by, if this is your function, then it will be given by f of x is equal to sine x. This is the domain of the sine function of x and this is the range of the sine function of x. Now, let us see this graph. Then you will understand it easily. In the real number, set of real numbers, let us make some easy going intervals. For example, if it is x-axis and that is y-axis, let us see. Let us take some values pi by 2 and here it is pi and this side I am taking it as minus pi by 2 and that is minus pi. Now see the values. You know, for the value of sine pi by 2, we are having the value as 1. Let us mark here 1 and here minus 1. Now see, sine pi by 2 becomes 1. All of you are knowing? Sine pi becomes 0. So let us plot the graph. And here also it is the pi, it will be 0. Here also let us plot the graph, plot the points. For sine minus pi by 2, if you are knowing from class 11 level trigonometry, sine minus pi by 2 is equal to minus sine pi by 2, that is minus 1. So here it is minus pi by 2, the image will be minus 1. If it is sine minus pi, it will be minus sine pi, again it is 0. So here will be the point. Can you join all the points which we have got? I am just repeating again. Sine pi by 2 becomes 1, sine pi becomes 0. Sine minus pi by 2 becomes minus 1 and sine minus pi becomes 0. Let us join all the points. How many join it? See. You can join it this way. Just see. Now, Sine 0. Sine 0 is 0. Everyone is knowing it. So let us join in this way. And here also in this way. So we can see the graph of sine x. It is the graph of sine x. It is the graph of sine x between minus pi to pi. You can see the behavior between minus pi to pi by 2 it is decreasing. Between minus pi by 2, 0 it is increasing. Between 0 to pi by 2 it is again increasing. Between pi by 2 to pi it is decreasing. So there is, you can see, there are variations in each and every interval. So to define the inverse of a function, we will fix the interval that will be the subset of this set of real numbers. You know, minus pi to pi, if you are taking minus pi to pi, it is also the subset to real numbers. It is subset to the set of real numbers. In the same way, minus pi by 2 to pi by 2 is also the subset to the real numbers. So, my dear students, here domain and range for the trigonometric function, it is also known as circular function of x, sine circular function of x, or we can say sine function of x. Now, here domain is r, range is minus 1 to 1. I have restricted the domain between minus pi by 2 to pi by 2 or minus pi to pi. You know what will happen? For each and every multiple of pi by 2, the variations of sine function remains same. Either it is increasing or decreasing. So we will fix the interval to define inverse trigonometric function. Because whenever we are studying trigonometric function, it is having wide range of varieties. To minimize the varieties, we give some restrictions in the definition of inverse trigonometric function for sine function. So how will we define it? Then, as I have told you earlier, here 1 function is already 1 on 2. So f inverse will be given by this minus 1 as the range becomes the domain. And here I will restrict this domain as the range of inverse trigonometric function, inverse especially here inverse sine function, I will restrict it to minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. Now see, in this restricted range, this is the range. This restricted range is known as principal value branch. It is known as principal value branch. So, principal value branch, we can say this is just the subset of set of real numbers. That means its actual range is R, set of real numbers. But I have restricted the range to minus pi by 2 to pi by 2, which is as a closing interval. So, we can say this is a subset of this range, actual range, set of real numbers R. Within this, I can define inverse function. Let us see its graph also. If you will draw the graph for sine inverse function, what will you get? See. Just take these values on y-axis, because inverse function, they are changing their domain and range. They interchange. So that's why let us change. It will be pi by 2. It will be pi. And here it is minus pi by 2. And it is minus pi. Now, minus 1 and 1 comes to this side as we are changing the function. So, if it is f inverse of x, that is sine inverse x. Now, let us see the graph. Again, we are getting the same type of values. For pi by 2, we will get 1. For minus pi by 2, we will get minus 1. For pi, we will get 0. For 0, we are getting 0. Let us join them. See, can you say this graph just this graph is just turned through some angle to make the inverse of this? So, you can see, you can easily visualize between minus pi to pi, we are drawing the graph for sine function and this inverse function of sine. You know, this sine inverse x is also known as arc sine x. Arc sine x means also sine inverse of x. So you can see the graph of both. If we will increase the limits, we will increase the interval, you know what will happen? If we increase the intervals, we will find difficulties to understand it, and it will be difficult, more and more difficult for the students. Within R, there are so many intervals, and within so many intervals, there are so many variations of inverse trigonometric functions. So, in that, what we will do? We will restrict its range between minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. You see, between minus pi by 2 to pi by 2, if we are restricting it, this will be the part of this function in this way. You can see this is the part. Here also we can see this is the part, so we can easily visualize it. Therefore, that will be the part. You see, so to make it easier, we restrict its range to minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. It can be written as now given by f inverse of x is equal to sine inverse x. Now see, as we are getting the domain and range of this sine inverse x, in the same way we can have the domain and range in terms of principal value branch. It is better to tell principal value branch rather than range. So principal value branch and the domain of all 6 inverse standard trigonometric functions we can see. Just I will show you how to represent them. Let us see. Likewise, I will discuss point wise so that you can understand it better. Now see, I will discuss here the domain and the principal value branch. I will write in short PVB. That means principal value branch for all the 6 standard inverse trigonometric functions. The first function is sine inverse. Here I am writing ITF, means inverse trigonometric functions. Here it is sine inverse x. Already I have shown you the domain is minus 1 to 1 as a closed interval, and the principal value branch is minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. After that, cos inverse x. Cos inverse x is having its domain and range in this way. We can have it minus 1 to 1 as the domain, and the range will be 0 to pi. We can define in this way. As I have shown you for sine inverse x, we can prove it for cos inverse x also. Now for the third, tan inverse x, or we can say first of all cosec. Cosec inverse x. Now see, its domain is little bit the domain and range of this inverse trigonometric functions are correlated. Little bit changes are there, so you have to concentrate more and more. Its domain will be r minus 1 to 1. In some of the books, this sign is changed. So take care. It cannot be square bracket, that is including. It cannot be curly bracket also. You know what is the meaning of curly bracket in terms of sets? It means only minus 1 and 1. So we cannot take that curly bracket or big bracket here. We can have only excluding brackets. That means all the values lying between minus 1 and 1, we have to subtract from set of real numbers. That will be the domain of cosec inverse x. And its range will be minus pi by 2 to pi by 2 as including, minus only 0. Why I have written here minus only 0? You see, between minus pi by 2 and pi by 2, we are having 0. And you know cosec inverse x, just think about it. What will be cosec inverse x? Cosec inverse 0. It will be 1 by sine inverse 0. You just try to understand it. Just think about trigonometric functions. Cosec x is equal to 1 by sine x. So cosec 0 will be 1 by sine 0. Sine 0 is 0. 1 by 0 is infinity, undefined. So due to this 0 value, it will be undefined. That's why I have removed this value from the principal value branch for the cosec inverse x. Next, sec inverse x. In the same way, sec inverse x is having the domain as r minus is principal value branch 0 to pi, and we have to subtract here pi by 2. Now you ask me, sir, why pi by 2? See, cos 90, sec 90 is 1 by cos 90 and cos 90 is 0. So 1 by 0 is again undefined, infinity. So that's why we have to remove this pi by 2 between 0 to pi so that the function will be defined. Now the fifth one, tan inverse x. Tan inverse x is having domain as R and its range will be, tan inverse x will have the range excluding minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. There are much importance of these signs. Take care of this. That means it is not included. Between minus pi by 2 and pi by 2 we have to take the values. And when it is in the square brackets, that means it will be included, including all other values lying between minus pi by 2 and pi by 2. So next is cot inverse x. And cot inverse x is having the domain again as the set of real numbers are. And its range will be excluding 0 to pi. Means leaving 0 and pi, all rest values will be included as the principal value branch of this cot inverse x. So this is the value chart, this is the, we can say, domain and principal value branch chart for all 6 standard inverse trigonometric functions. In my, just after that, my next topic will be how to evaluate inverse trigonometric functions as their principal values. This is your first target, to understand what is principal value. All the values of x which are lying under these principal value branch will be known as principal values for all those inverse trigonometric functions. So remember that all these principal value branches will work as tool for you. It will be just like as a tool for you to understand how to find the principal values for all other inverse trigonometric functions. So let us start with one example and we will see how to find principal value of an inverse trigonometric function. I am writing on that side, see. I will make you understand how to compare also. Now see, sine inverse minus 1 by 2. First question, principal values I have kept here. How will you evaluate principal values? Now see, in finding principal values, what we have to do? You just, for example, your question is given as evaluate first sine inverse minus 1 by 2. Second, you have been given cos inverse minus 1 by 2. Now see, within these two I will make you understand how to solve for principal value branch. Now see, simply in the exam, this type of question will be given and you have to understand. We have to find principal value. Either it has written find principal value or not, we have to find principal value. So, solving the first, what you will write? Let y is equal to sine inverse minus 1 by 2. Whichever the method I am applying here, to solve the same question, I will give you another method when in my next topic, that is fifth point, I will discuss as the properties of inverse trigonometric function. In that fifth point, I will discuss again this question and I will help you in solving this question directly within 1 or 2 steps. But here you have to understand, if you will forget the formula as a property, then what will you do? You will apply this basic method or this fundamental rule for evaluating it. You know what will I do here? I will convert this inverse trigonometric function into simplest circular functions of x, that is trigonometric functions of x. And everyone, every student is knowing how to evaluate simple trigonometric functions. So now I will apply one definition. In inverse trigonometric function, one of the most important rule is this. You can see. What is that? If y is equal to sine inverse x, then you can write at any time, I will use this sign. This sign means implies and is implied by. It will be sine y is equal to x. That means we can interchange both of them to each other. Means y is equal to sin inverse x, we can write it as sin y is equal to x, or if sin y is equal to x, we can write it as y is equal to sin inverse x. Means they are interchangeable. So how to solve this? You see everyone, it will be sin y is equal to minus 1 by 2. Now apply your class 11 level trigonometry here. It will be sin y, you have to write here. What you have to write? It will be done by definition. It is done due to definition of inverse trigonometric function. It is the definition of inverse trigonometric function by which I have done it. Then this one. So minus 1 by 2. You know 1 by 2 is a value for sin theta, and it will be sin pi by 6. Now see, as we are knowing, when it will be minus sin pi by 6, you can change it easily as minus sin minus pi by 6. You know why? Because you write the reason. Sin minus theta is equal to minus sin. You are knowing this rule from your class 11 level trigonometry. The negative of the angle is equal to pi minus theta. That's why it becomes the negative angle, negative of the trigonometric function. In case of sine, in case of tan, in case of cosec, it will be minus. In case of cos, sec, it will never be minus. In case of cot also it will be minus. Fine? So, can we write it as y is equal to minus pi by 6? Now, why will I write minus pi by 6? You know why? Because minus pi by 6 comes in the principal value branch for sine inverse. You can see here. That is minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. This one, sine inverse x. What is its principal value branch? Minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. See, minus pi by 6 comes within this interval, minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. Okay, everyone? Because it is minus pi by 2 to pi by 2, we are getting minus pi by 6, that is minus 30. So, minus 30 is coming between minus 90 and plus 90. So, we can write here, since y belongs to principal value branch of sine inverse. Nothing to write anything, you can write in this way. Principal value branch of sine inverse, it belongs to that. That's why that value is permissible. Now, what was your y? Your y was sine inverse minus 1 by 2. So, sine inverse minus 1 by 2 will be minus pi by 6. And that is your principal value for sine inverse minus 1 by 2. So, whenever you are having this type of question, I am just giving you a trick for that. Sine inverse, cosec inverse, tan inverse. For that, you see sine inverse, cosec inverse and tan inverse. They are having ranges related to minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. They are having these ranges. Now, between minus pi by 2 to pi by 2, we can easily convert them as the negatives of the angle, functions of negatives of the angles. For cos inverse, sec inverse and cot inverse, see they are having related intervals 0 to pi. So here this negative angle concept will not work. What will we do? What we have to do there? As explained in class 11 level trigonometry, we have to convert into the proper quadrant, and especially we will convert them in the second quadrant. Now you will ask me, sir, why second quadrant? Because if you will convert into the third quadrant, then this 0 to pi category will not be satisfied. It will go beyond pi, and we cannot make them go beyond pi. So that's why we have to make changes within the second quadrant. We have to make them changes so that they can be converted into second quadrant. Now see, in this way we can easily visualize inverse trigonometric functions and we can find the principal value branch. Okay? So let us see the second question. Let y is equal to cos inverse minus 1 by 2. Let y is equal to cos inverse minus 1 by 2. Now how will you convert them? See, can you write it as cos y is equal to minus 1 by 2? Now see, cos theta becomes negative. When it will be negative? Cos y, you can convert them as cos y is equal to minus cos pi by 6. pi by 3. Now all of you are knowing cos pi by 3 is 1 by 2. So I have just written the value. Now when cos theta is negative, cos theta is negative when it comes to the case of second quadrant and third quadrant, because cos and sec both are positive in the fourth quadrant. So we have to make changes, as I earlier have explained. We have to make changes within this so that they can be converted into the second quadrant only. Third quadrant is not permissible. So how will you convert it? See, can you write it as cos pi minus pi by 3? Now you will ask me, sir, how you have written this? So within this pi minus pi by 3, cos theta becomes negative, and my purpose is also solved. It is within pi. So we can write it as y is equal to pi minus pi by 3 will be 2 pi by 3. Now you can easily see 2 pi by 3 comes in the range of, for cos we have just see this cos. Its range is, for cos inverse we are having the range as 0 to pi. Now see 2 pi by 3 comes within the range 0 to pi. Can we write it? Since 2 pi by 3 belongs to the range principal value branch of cos inverse, we can write this. It belongs to the principal value branch of cos inverse. That's why 2 pi by 3 will be permissible. So can you write in place of y cos inverse minus 1 by 2 is equal to 2 pi by 3? Now see, for both the questions we are having different methods. Now in my next topic I will explain properties of inverse trigonometric functions. And properties of inverse trigonometric functions, in that again I will discuss these two questions and you will see the changes. Within 2 steps we can solve. But remember students, we have to learn the formula, but if you forget the formula, do not use confused formula. So that's why I have given you the basic method for it, so that you can easily convert. As per the definition of inverse trigonometric function, you can easily convert into the simple circular functions of x, or we can say trigonometric functions of x. Now see the next fifth point of discussion, that is properties of inverse trigonometric functions, and we will see the proof also. Let us see. Now see, let us see the properties. Properties of inverse trigonometric functions. The first and one of the most important property for it is, see, if y is equal to sine inverse x, just now I have remembered that, then implies it is implied by sine y is equal to x. Means it will work in both directions. This is the definition actually. This is the definition of inverse trigonometric function. So we can apply it anywhere. Definition of inverse trigonometric functions. We can apply anywhere. So let us see the next. Next one is, we are having sine of sine inverse x is equal to x, and we are also having sine inverse of sine x is equal to x. Now see, sine of sine inverse x is equal to x and sine inverse of sine x is equal to x. It has to be satisfied within some interval. When it is a case of, when we are having the first function as sine inverse x, it has to be satisfied within the interval minus 1 to 1. When it is the case of sine x, sine function of x, it has to be satisfied within the interval minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. Now, for sine we are having two formulae. In the same way, for cos, for tan, for cosec, and for cot we are having more formulae. So for 1 we are having 2 formulae, for 6 we are having 12 formulae. So we will have total this type of formula 12. So I am writing here 10 more. 10 more formulae based upon that we are having, including these two. So how many formula we are having actually? Actually we can say we are having one formula. Inverse of the function, inverse of that function of x, it will be x, or function of inverse function of that particular value of x, it will be x. So actually it is one formula, but it includes 12 formulae. Here you have one of the basic formula, you have got one formula. Now see the third category of the formula. Now all these formulae will have some criteria. So it is better to understand inverse trigonometric functions properties within some restrictions. We can write here with given restrictions. With given restrictions. Now with these restrictions we can easily understand inverse trigonometric functions. Let us see what are these properties. The first one is sine inverse 1 by x is equal to cosec inverse x, or we can write same formula, we can write in this way: cosec inverse 1 by x is equal to sine inverse x. Now see, sine inverse 1 by x can be converted into cosec inverse x, and cosec inverse 1 by x can be converted into sine inverse x. So this is the relation between sine and cosec. In the same way we can have the relation between cos and sec. Again we can have the same type of relation between tan and cot. So for that we are having two formulae each. So one pair two formulae, next pair two formulae, another last pair two formulae. So how many total formulae we will have? We have to write 4 more. Okay? In this way we are having two formulae plus more 4 formulae we can make. So total formulae from this third category will be 6. So we are having 6 formulae based upon that. Try to understand the basic, so that if you will forget the formula, you can understand it, you can prove it. So let us see the proof of this. How sine inverse 1 by x is cosec inverse x. Let us see. Now see, I will pick these questions because I have to utilize again. Now see. Now see, let us see the proof of it. Let us prove the second one. Let cosec inverse 1 by x is equal to y. Now see, cosec inverse 1 by x is equal to y. Can I apply the first definition of inverse trigonometric function here? It will be cosec y is equal to 1 by x. Now see, can I write it as, let us take the reciprocals. Reciprocals all of you are knowing. The reciprocal of a by b is b by a. In the same way, reciprocal of cosec y is equal to 1 by cosec y. 1 by cosec y will be sin y. So it will be sin y is equal to reciprocal of 1 by x is x. So we have to write here the reason. On taking reciprocals. On taking reciprocals. On taking reciprocals, we can make it as sin y is equal to x. Now see, next. Now sin y, we are having already sin y is equal to x. Now see how to convert into this cosec inverse 1 by x as sin inverse x. Can I write it as y is equal to sin inverse x? Just see. Again what I have done. Here what I have done first. I have used the definition. So we can write definition by definition of inverse trigonometric function. Remember students, whenever you are changing this inverse to a simplest trigonometric function, that is circular functions, then we have to write this by definition of inverse trigonometric function. Now here again I am changing from simplest trigonometric function, that is circular functions, to I am converting to inverse trigonometric function. What I have to write again? By definition of inverse trigonometric function. So by definition of inverse trigonometric function, we can convert again, but we have to write the reason. Now tell me what will be sine. Tell me what is y. What is y here? Cosec inverse 1 by x. So cosec inverse 1 by x is equal to sine inverse x. Is it proved now? Just see. Cosec inverse 1 by x is equal to sine inverse x. See, I have proved it. In the same way, we can prove all the 6 formulae which we can write here. I am leaving some formulas so that we can write it also. For example, in place of sine, we can use cos inverse 1 by x is equal to sec inverse x. And here what we will write? Sec inverse 1 by x is equal to cos inverse x. So in this way, you can make tan inverse 1 by x is equal to cot inverse x, and cot inverse 1 by x is equal to tan inverse x. So you can utilize it the same way. Now, the 7th category. Sorry, this is the 4th category. First, second, third, fourth category of the properties of inverse trigonometric function. In this category, we will see the negative angles. What was my target to prove? See, we are having the next formula that is based upon negatives of the angles. Sine minus theta was minus sine theta in class 11. Now here we will see what will be the value of sine inverse minus x. What will be the value of tan inverse minus x. What will be the value of cosec inverse minus x. What will be the value of sec inverse minus x. So we will see the negative angles, or we can say the function inverse trigonometric functions for minus x. Let us see. Now, first formula, sine inverse minus x. I am listing all this formula. Next is cosec inverse minus x. Next is tan inverse minus x. Remember, they belong to the same category because their principal value branch are just related. How it is minus pi by 2 pi by 2? Its principal value branch is cosec inverse minus pi by 2 pi by 2, excluding 0. Here, tan inverse minus x, it is having the principal value branch as excluding minus pi by 2 pi by 2. So their value will be same, minus sine inverse x, minus cosec inverse minus x, and minus tan inverse x. Now see, these three are they do belong to the same category because their principal value branch are just little bit related. Now next, let us see. In place of sine, I am writing cos inverse minus x is equal to pi minus cos inverse x. Now the changes is there. Sec inverse minus x, pi minus sec inverse x. Then cot inverse minus x, it is pi minus cot inverse x. Now you see the changes. Here it is negatives of the inverse, and here it is pi minus inverse of that function. How it has happened? Let us see. Let us see how it has happened. Let us see the proof of them. Here I will show you the proof. See everyone. Now, in this, let us prove either of the three. I am proving one, and here either of the three I am proving one. Let us prove here called sine inverse minus x. So let sine inverse minus x is equal to y. Then by definition of inverse trigonometric function, it will be sine y is equal to minus x. Yes, see. Now can you write it as, try to understand it. Now can you write it as, see this, sine inverse minus x is equal to y, then we can write it as sine y is equal to minus x. Now we can write it y is equal to See this. In sin y, how the angle will be? Angle is negative. We can write it as minus sin y is equal to x. Now can I write it as sin minus y is equal to x? Because sin minus theta is minus sin theta. Now again make the inverse. Again use the definition. You have to write here. By definition of inverse trigonometric function. Here also you have to write where I am using. By definition of inverse trigonometric functions. Now see, can we write it as minus y is equal to sin inverse x? So shift the minus to that side. You will have y. Y is what here? Sin inverse minus x. So can I write sin inverse minus x? Shifting this minus sign to that side, it will be minus sin inverse x. You see the proof is done. You can easily see we have proved it. Sin inverse minus x is equal to minus sin inverse x. First I have proved. Now you see the second proof. I am proving the second one. Either of the three I am taking any one. Let us take cot inverse. Now see, let cot inverse minus x is equal to y. Again by definition can I write cot y is equal to minus x. Again I can write it as, just see everyone, I can write it as minus cot y is equal to x. Now you will think, sir, cot minus theta is also minus cot theta. Can we take it? Don't take it. Why? Because here the angle will not belong to its category or its range, principal value branch. It will never relate to its principal value branch. So that's why we cannot take cot minus theta. We have to take cot pi minus theta. Why? Because it will relate it to its principal value branch. Cot inverse principal value branch is here we know 0 to pi, okay, excluding. So we have to bring them within excluded 0 to pi, excluding interval 0 to pi. So let us see. That's why we cannot write it cot minus theta. Now it will be cot pi minus y is equal to x. Cot pi minus y, you can see cot pi minus y in the second quadrant, it becomes negative because in the third quadrant it is positive. So we can write it as pi minus y is equal to cot inverse x. Again we have got here the definition of inverse trigonometric function is used. See in this place and in this place I have used inverse trigonometric functions definition which I have in the very first formula I have discussed it. It is the most important property of inverse trigonometric function, that an inverse trigonometric function can be converted into the circular functions or simple trigonometric functions, or simple trigonometric functions can be converted into inverse trigonometric functions. That is the most important property of inverse trigonometric function. It is known as its definition. Now, can I write it as, in this way I can write it as, bring this cot inverse this side, pi minus cot inverse x is equal to y, bringing y that side. Can you write y as cot inverse minus x? So I can write it as cot inverse minus x. Now, in place of y I have changed it. So cot inverse minus x is pi minus cot inverse x. Is it proved? So in this way I have proved cot inverse minus x is equal to pi minus cot inverse x, and sin inverse minus x is equal to minus sin inverse x. Remember, in this way, whenever we are proving the property, we have to take care. We have to write. We are using here the definition of inverse trigonometric function. If you will not write it, it will not work. Or your marks can be deducted if this type of question is asked and you have not written the reason. So this is the first ever property of inverse trigonometric function, and these are the second most important properties. Function and its inverse becomes the variable. Inverse and that function of that variable becomes the variable. So these two formulae are worth using. Each and everywhere you will see you have to utilize this type, this both the formulae. Now again you are having here 6 formulae. So how many formulae you have got till the time? But it is very easy to learn also. Here you have got one formula, here 12, here 6, here 12. Means 12, 12, 24, 125 formula you have got till now. Okay? Now, as I have told you earlier, we will solve this question again with the help of these properties. Let us see. Let us see this. Now we will evaluate these values with the help of this fourth category of the formula, that is inverse trigonometric functions. How they are changes in the negatives of the angles. See, let us see. Now, first I am solving sine inverse minus 1 by 2. Just I have told you, I have explained. Sine inverse minus x is minus sine inverse x. So can I write it as minus sine inverse x? So minus sine inverse 1 by 2. Now, you will ask me, sir, we don't know the value of sine inverse 1 by 2 also. So just let it as 1 and try to find out. See, the values of sine inverse 1 by 2, as it is same as we are getting the value of sine theta as 1 by 2. So the value for the sine function, simple trigonometric function as sine, the value becomes 1 by 2 when it is pi by 6. So can we write it directly as minus pi by 6? Now see, I have promised you, just a few minutes ago I have promised you that I will show you in 2 steps the solution of this type of question. You see? Now the second question, cos inverse minus 1 by 2. Now cos inverse minus 1 by 2 is there. Let us see how to make the changes. Now, cos inverse minus 1 by 2 is here. You can write it as cos inverse minus x is equal to pi minus cos inverse x. It is the property just now we have seen. Let us utilize it. Now see, pi minus cos inverse 1 by 2. If students will do the mistake here, they will utilize this formula here and this formula here. They will be awarded 0 marks. So take care while applying it. Sine inverse, cosec inverse, tan inverse of the negative angles. They give the negative of the inverse. Cos inverse, sec inverse, cot inverse of the negative angles. They gives us negative pi minus the inverse function. You can remember it this way. And they belong to the same principal, same type of principal value branch. And they also, these three belong to the same type of principal value branch. We can say type, we cannot say same, exactly same. They are not having exactly same. Little bit differences are there. Now see, pi minus cos inverse x will be pi minus, then when cos theta is having value as pi by 2, 1 by 2. Cos theta is 1 by 2, when it is pi by 3. Cos pi by 3 is 1 by 2. So we can write it here, pi minus pi by 3. Now tell me the result, pi minus pi by 3 is 2 pi by 3. Again you see, within 2 steps I have answered this. So while answering this type of questions, you remember you have to write the property. Here also you have to write the property. What you will write? Since sine inverse minus x is equal to minus sine inverse x. And what you will write here? Here you have to write cos inverse minus x is equal to pi minus cos inverse x. So you have to write this property whenever you are using it. So you have got the value. In the next point, I will discuss some more properties. Now I have seen only I am using here x as the variable. Now we can utilize more than that. We can utilize more than that formula we can apply here. Let us see. Next property is based on, I can utilize that property. You know complementary angles. You have studied in junior classes. The sum of two angles, if it is 90 degree, they are known as complementary angles. The sum of two angles, if it is 180 degree, these are known as supplementary angles. So here I will show you sine, already you are knowing this also. Sine and cos are complement to each other, tan and cot are complement to each other, and sec and cosec are complement to each other. It is true in the case of circular functions or simple trigonometric functions also. It is also true, it holds true in also in case of inverse trigonometric functions. So So let us see the properties based upon that, and three formula here we will have based upon that property. Let us see. Now see. Let us see the next category of the properties. Okay, see. Next is fifth category of the formula based upon the complements. See. Sin inverse x plus cos inverse x is equal to pi by 2. They are complement to each other. Second, tan inverse x plus cot inverse x is equal to pi by 2. Again they are complement to each other. Sec inverse x plus cosec inverse x, again they are complement to each other. So if you remember which are complement to which function, then you can easily remember the formula. We can prove it also based upon the same type of concept I utilized. We can write it sin inverse x is equal to y, and then you can convert. Let us see one proof. I am proving this second one. Let tan inverse x is equal to y. Can I write it as x is equal to tan y? You know the property. This is the by property of inverse trigonometric function. By definition of inverse trigonometric functions, we have done this. Now see, can you write it as x is equal to, can I convert this 10 in terms of cot? I will write it as cot pi by 2 minus y. You know this formula? Cot 90 minus theta is tan theta. Now, can you write it? Again, you will use the definition of inverse trigonometric function. That is, you can write cot inverse x is equal to pi by 2 minus y. You will write here by definition of inverse trigonometric function. By definition of, again, inverse trigonometric functions, we are having this as cot inverse x is equal to pi by 2 minus what is y? What is y here? Tan inverse x. So it is tan inverse x. Now, can you write it as tan inverse x plus cot inverse x is equal to pi by 2? Now see, have I proved that property? Tan inverse x plus cot inverse x is equal to pi by 2. In the same way, we can prove the raised to 2 also. In the same method. You have to convert them into the next complement. Okay? So in this way we have seen the fifth category also. Let us see now, I will use now two variables. I will use two variables and you will see the method. See, two variables I will utilize now. Now, this is the category number 6. Here we have got how many formulae? We have here 3 formulae. Now, category number 6. Now see, the sixth category of the formula is tan inverse x. It is one of the most important formula, you can say. It is one of the most important formula because maximum questions based upon that we can solve with this formula only. Tan inverse x plus tan inverse y. What will be its result? It will be tan inverse x plus y by 1 minus xy. Within given some criteria or conditions, within some constants we can say, or within some given restrictions, this formula is true. Beyond that restrictions, it is not true. You know, whatever the formula we have discussed, and I will discuss some more formulae. In all these, one thing is common. With all these restrictions, they are true, and after that restrictions, they are false. So remember, these are true under certain restrictions. Again, the next one is tan inverse x minus tan inverse y is equal to tan inverse x minus y by 1 plus xy. Now see, tan inverse x minus tan inverse y, all this change of sign is there. You know, this is related to class 11 level trigonometry, which I have earlier already given studied also, and I have taught. See, what is that? I am proving one. See, the first I am proving. Here you are having two formulae only. See the proof? I will write it as, let tan inverse x as A and tan inverse y as B. Now see, what will you write for that? You will write here, just put the value here. Now can you write it as x is equal to tan A by definition of inverse trigonometric function, and here also you can write it as y is equal to tan B. Again it is same, the definition of inverse trigonometric function. Let us see the RHS. RHS of this expression is tan inverse x plus y. What will I write in place of x? I will write it as tan A. In place of y, what will I write? Tan B. 1 minus, in place of x, I will write tan A. In place of y, I will write tan B. Now, the result of this is tan inverse. Now see, tan A plus tan B by 1 minus tan A tan B. Which, it is related to which formula? It is related to tan A plus B, compound angle formula. You just remember, class 11 level trigonometry. Inverse, compound angle formula. See this, it will be tan A plus B. Now, tan inverse tan A plus B, tan inverse of that function, and the function of that variable becomes the variable. So you will write it as A plus B. Just replace this A and B. What is your A here? A is tan inverse x. What is your B here? What is your B? B is tan inverse y. So, is it your LHS? Proved. Was it your LHS? See this, I have proved tan inverse x plus y by 1 minus xy is equal to tan inverse x plus tan inverse y. So, in this way, easily we can prove all this formula. So, this was the sixth category. Based upon that, we are having some more formulae for sine inverse and cos inverse also. And based upon that, we are having some more formulae related to multiple angles. Okay? In my next video, I will discuss all these formulae along with the board model questions and the books questions also. Thank you everyone. See my next video.